Okay, magandang araw po sa lahat. Meron po akong ipapakita sa inyong video tungkol po doon sa mag-asawa na nakapag nakakontract po o nakakuha po sila ng virus, okay, yung COVID-19. And gumaling naman po yung mag-asawa, okay, mag-asawang Briton. Ngayon, ito po ay base sa experience po nila. Ang gagawin ko lang po ay ita-translate ko sa Tagalog kung ano yung naging experience nila. Kaya ayun, disclaimer lang po, hindi po ako medical expert. So ang gagawin lang natin ay kung ano po yung naging experience nila ay yun yung ikinukwento o yun yung ikukwento nila at sa abot ng aking makakaya ay itatranslate ko to sa Tagalog para maintindihan ng lahat kung ano yung nangyari, paano nila nilabanan ito, paano sila gumaling. Ayun, so ganun lang po yung gagawin natin. Okay? So, without much further ado, ayan, panoorin po natin. Kaya lang po, set up ko lang ha. Kung meron po kayong mga katanungan, mamaya sasagutin po natin yan. So, tapusin po natin yung video at atin pong panoorin muna, then tatranslate ko para po dire-diretso po tayo. Okay, kung may katanungan kayo, yun mamaya po sagutin natin. Okay? So, ayun, magandang araw po sa lahat ng mga nanonood. Okay, so simulan po natin.
Good morning. David and Sally Abel here. As you can see, we are still in our hospital bedroom in Japan. And today is Wednesday, the 11th of March, 2020. Now, purpose of this video is pre-recorded because what I'm going to do is explain the symptoms that we received and everything that has happened to improve our state of health, if you like, from the moment it all started to occur on board the Diamond Princess to where we are right now in hospital. We were informed to look out for a cough, a fever, and what was the third thing? A cough?
A fever.
Cough and a fever.
That's really awful.
Those were the two main things. And if our temperatures exceeded 37.5, to notify the medical center on the ship.
Okay guys. Yun yun ang unang-unang paraan para ma-detect kung ikaw ay isa sa mga na-infect or nahawa, okay? Ubo, at kung merong lagnat, ang temperature ay pwedeng umakyat ng 37.5 degrees. Ayan So, yun po yung mga early symptoms. Yun yung mga maaga, para maaga nating malaman. Okay? Diretso po natin.
Now, we were anchored in the bay of Yokohama. So we were not permitted dockside at this point.
Okay. O nga pala, sila po ay mga pasahero ng Diamond Princess na nakadaong sa shores po ng Japan, Yokohama, Japan. Okay.
And the ship was in quarantine. But we weren't confined to our cabins. So we could mix with other passengers, have meals for the first day. Then the Japanese health authority said all passengers, they must remain in quarantine and confined to their cabins. So that's what we did. And we were told to monitor our health to make certain that if any of the symptoms showed themselves, that we notify the medical center. So everybody was issued with a thermometer. And this caused a lot of discussion with my videos, because I was checking our temperatures under the arm, and lots of nurses from all over the world were coming on and say, that's not correct, you're not getting an accurate reading, test under the tongue. Now, I went on to the internet and looked at the manufacturer of this thermometer, and they make 3 different styles. They all look identical, but there were 3 different ones, calibrated for where you take the temperature. So there was one that was calibrated for under the tongue, another calibrated for under the arm, and another calibrated for up the backside, okay? So you have to know what the calibration of that thermometer is to get an accurate temperature.
Okay, ngayon thermometer. Ayan, marami po kasing uri ng thermometer, actually 3. Ngayon, yung pong 3 thermometer na yon ay ginagamit sa ilalim ng dila, inyong una. Pangalawa, sa ilalim ng kilikili. At ang pangatlo, sa puwet. Okay? Sa ilalim. Ayan. So, hindi po kasi accurate or mali po yung magiging reading pag ang ginamit po ninyong thermometer ay yung para sa puwet at inilagay nyo sa bibig. Okay? Magkaiba po ng calibration yun, magkaiba po ng reading. Kaya siguraduhin po ninyo ang ginagamit po ninyong thermometer kung sa ilalim ng dila ay para sa ilalim ng dila. Okay? Huwag nyo gagamitin yung para sa puwet. Ayun po. Okay? So, para hindi po para tama po yung temperature na makuha po natin. At sa kanila po kasi 37.5 pataas. So pag naging 38 po yan, ayan, they must inform. Kailangan sabihan po nila yung kanilang mga medical officers. O yan. Diretso po natin.
So ours, on the instructions, which were all in Japanese, but thank God it did have illustrations, it showed under the arm all the way through. So once that was made public knowledge, that check the calibration and where you're supposed to use it, those conversations stopped instantly. But until I had done that, the outcry worldwide from nurses, always under the tongue, always under the tongue. And they were absolutely correct if they're using a thermometer that's calibrated for under the tongue. Now here, we have our temperature taken 4 to 5 times a day by the nurses, and every single one under the arm. Okay? So it depends on the thermometer. That's the first thing. The cough. Now, early in quarantine, we both developed a cough. And we put it down to the air conditioning on the ship, because we've done lots of cruises. And I'm not trying to boast, I'm just telling you how it is. We've done lots of cruises, and virtually every single cruise we are coughing because of the air conditioning. This was quite different because now we're confined to the cabin, so we were coughing more, but we still were putting it down to the air conditioning. And with hindsight, it was total denial. You know, we didn't recognize it for what it was. It was one of the very first signs of the coronavirus. So Sally's, it was quite a deep cough. Mine was just like a tickle in the throat, and it was a that sort of cough, and it never changed. So we had the cough without a doubt. Our temperatures, which we were taking far more than 4 times a day. You know, when you're given a thermometer and they say check 3 or 4 times a day, human nature being what it is, we were checking like every hour.
Okay. So, yung pong nangyari sa kanila, dahil sa sila ay namamasyal, lagi po silang nasa cruise. Ang binaliwala po nila yung kanilang pag-ubo Kasi parang naging normal na sa kanila. Pag daw sila ay napapunta sa isang kwarto na may aircon, ayan, talagang inuubo daw sila. So, epekto daw yun ng aircon. So, nabaliwala po nila. Ayan, yun pala ang unang simptomas na meron ka ng COVID-19, ang pag-ubo. Kahit siya ay mild, okay, kahit siya ay mild, konting ubo lang, yun na pala yung simptomas. Okay, binaliwala po nila yon.
It just got into our head, and we were checking very, very regularly. If the temperature goes above 37.5, you call the medical centre. Well, most of the time it was well below, but there was an occasion when mine went to 37.8, and I thought, God, what do I do? Call the medic? And I went into the bathroom, had a wash, shave, came back out, retook it, and it was down 37.4. So I never bothered calling the medical centre. Now, that happened 2 or 3 times. Didn't go massive up into the 38s, but it was above the 37.5. So again, with hindsight, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? I perhaps should have called the medical centre on the ship.
Okay. Ang temperature niya ay nag-a-up and down. Okay, babataas ang kanyang temperature. Ang sabi sa kanila, pag humigit ng 37.5 ang temperature, ay tawagin na yung mga medical officers. Pero dahil yung sa kanya, babataas, 37.5 mahigit, tapos bababa ng 37.4, so hindi siya tumatawag ng medical officer. Ayun. So, isang indikasyon po yun na pagbaba taas ang temperature. Ayun, isa pa raw simptomas po yun. Okay, basta humigit po ng 37.5, ayun, tumawag po ng medical officer.
Another symptom is sore throat. Did you have a sore throat? Not at all. Neither of us had a sore throat.
We didn't feel unwell.
We really didn't feel unwell. I did have another symptom, but didn't know it until we were leaving the ship to come to hospital. But and that symptom was short of breath, because you're confined to your cabin. So I'm not walking anywhere. I'm not doing anything to exert myself, but I did have shortness of breath without any doubt at all. So the way that we understand the virus works, we fully believe that it was a common cold that opened the door to the virus with us. We had no symptoms of a cold, but we were in close proximity to somebody that had a cold. And that sort of opened the door. And I'm not pointing fingers or blaming, I'm just trying to analyse what happened to us. That then opened the door for both of us to receive the coronavirus. Coronavirus comes with many gifts. One of them was influenza, and the other was pneumonia. Now, the pneumonia is the serious one. That's what's killing a lot of people worldwide. When we contracted the pneumonia, that's when I really did start to notice a shortage of breath as we were walking off the ship.
Okay. So, yung nabanggit niya kanina, sore throat. Parehas silang walang sore throat. Oh, sabi nila, 'di ba? They are perfectly well. Wala silang nararamdaman. Wala. Ngayon, nung umakyat sila sa cruise ship, doon naramdaman ni David ang shortness of breath or yung pagkahapo. O naglalakad lang sila paakyat ng siguro hagdanan o paakyat ng cruise ship, hinahapo siya. Okay, so yun yung isa pang nakita nilang sintomas na parang kakaiba. doon sa normal na day-to-day activity nila.
So, because I'm a diabetic and insulin dependent, we were on sort of a higher priority for the testing of the virus. And late one afternoon, 2 guys or girls came down to the cabin and said, "We've come to test you both." And 4 days later, I think it was about 4 days, wasn't it? We were told the result that we were positive. So we had been positive for a number of days up to this stage. And that's when we were at our most contagious.
Okay. Ang COVID-19 po kasi ay sabi asymptomatic. Ang ibig sabihin daw po noon ay normal, wala kang nararamdaman, wala kang sakit, pero nasa loob mo na. So, meron siyang incubation period na 14 days. So, after 14 days mo lang marirealize o malalaman na nakuha mo na pala yung virus. Okay? So, asymptomatic. O, wala kang nararamdaman kahit ano. Ayun. So, yun po ang mahirap na dito sa virus na to. Hindi mo agad siya ma-detect. After 14 days, ayun, saka lamang. Kaya sila, after 4 days, so tinest sila, then after 4 days, saka lang nila na-confirm na nahawa na sila.
You know, so before the test had been done, we'd got the cough, I'd had spikes in the fever, went to bed, both of us one night quite cold, under the duvet, our bodies got warm again quickly, woke up in the morning, there was no fever. But the temperatures did spike, but only just over the 37.5. So we'd got 2 things. We'd got two of the things that are important there. One was the cough. Secondly was a spike in temperature.
Okay. So, yun po yung first detection. Okay. Ayon po sa kanilang experience. Ubo at taas-baba ng temperature. Yun po.
And then for me, it was the shortage of breath, but we didn't know that until we were getting off the ship. So 4 days later, we got this result to say, yes, you're positive. And we sit it out. So they said, we're going to be taking you to hospital, and it's a 6-hour journey. And the doctor that came in to explain all this and ran through, you know, our body health, as it were, at that time, I think she realized that I wasn't at all well, something that I could not see.
She came in to us that we were capable of doing that journey.
And within 12 hours, the decision was made, no, they're not going to do the 6-hour journey to hospital. It will be a 1.5 hour journey. And as we left the cabin the following morning, and all I had was my hand luggage, one hand free and pulling the bag, I was really out of breath, just walking down a straight corridor, not uphill, no incline. I was really out of breath. And when we got into the ambulance, and it was a tiny ambulance, very, very small, I could hardly breathe. Now, I'm not exaggerating this is exactly how it was. And the mask over my face starting to pack me a little bit. I needed air, and I felt the mask was stopping the air, and I was lifting the side of the mask to try to get more air into the mouth down to the lungs. Now, when we finally got to I'm not exaggerating any of this, am I? I'm really not. When we finally got to the destination, to our first hospital, which is a diagnostic hospital, of course, we didn't know this. All we knew is we're being taken to hospital. Fabulous hospital. But they specialize in diagnosis.
Okay. So, unang symptom, cough, and then sore throat, hindi naman masyado. And then, sumunod ay shortness of breath. Okay? At ayun na nga, ine-explain niya or ikinukwento niya na kahit nakasuot siya nakasuot lang siya nung mask, hirap na hirap siyang huminga. Gustong-gusto niyang tanggalin yung mask para lang meron siyang mahigop o meron siyang masagap na hangin. Okay, so shortness of breath.
And they get us out of the ambulance, but they weren't quite ready for us in the hospital. So I'm standing there and I said to Sal, my legs are going, I'm going to pass out. And apparently my colour changed. Well, you tell it because you saw it.
Oh yeah, your colour changed. You went very, very pale, parchmenty colour really. And I could see you were going to go. So I called out to somebody you needed a wheelchair, needed somewhere to sit, and that you were not feeling at all well, and they sat you back on the step of the ambulance until they got a wheelchair out to you. And you didn't walk anywhere until we got here. You didn't walk anywhere. You were pushed in a wheelchair everywhere you went because you hadn't got the strength to walk.
It was terrible. I'm not going to say it was frightening. It was terrible. I felt as if every pore on my body had opened up as I was sitting on the ambulance step. They brought the wheelchair and I could hardly talk. I was so breathless, I could hardly talk. And my emotions got the better of me. I was very tearful, just couldn't understand what was going on with my body. They spent an entire day diagnosing the pair of us. It was
exhausting.
It was exhausting. But, we had x-rays, a CT scan, ECGs, well, in America, EKG.
Blood tests.
Loads. I've never seen as much blood come out of my body. Armfuls of blood. And they did every test conceivable. And within hours, the doctor brought back a printout. It was huge. Longer than a normal A4, or what do you call it in America? The A4 paper, the long page. Can't remember what. It doesn't matter. But it was a long printout of what all the blood in our vessels and our organs were doing. Complete check of our entire body. And he put a ring round one area. Can't remember what it was. It doesn't matter. But it was to do with the respiratory system. And he said, this should be normal at 0.3. Sally's was...
I was
2.3?
Or 3 point something.
Hers was just a little bit high. Mine was 5.3. Really high. He said, this, too high.
Okay, so yung nag-conduct ng test ang mga Japanese doctors, okay? Kasi nasa Japan po sila, okay? Ang daming series of test ang ginawa sa kanila. Blood samples, kinuha na sila ng blood samples. At normal naman lahat except doon sa respiratory area na dapat daw ang level daw ay 0.3. Samantalang kay Sally ay 2.3 at yung sa kanya kay David ay 5 point something, di ba? Ayun. So it's very high than normal.
So the word respirator.
Not till this hospital.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm going a little bit too early. So they monitored us for 24 hours, and then the doctor came in and he said, everything that is wrong with you, you've got a common cold, yet there was no sneezing, there was no nose blowing. You've got a common cold, you've got influenza, and you've got acute pneumonia. Acute for me, mild for Sally. So he said, there is no need for any antibiotics because everything you have is viral. And when you have a viral challenge, the body heals itself, takes care of it itself. If it had been bacterial pneumonia, they would have been loading us with antibiotics. Okay? But this is viral pneumonia. So they monitored us really well for 24 hours. The nurses and the doctors were absolutely amazing. They kept us totally informed. Some of them could speak quite good English. Our Japanese is zero, I'm ashamed to say. But
Okay, cut muna natin doon. Ang nakontract nung mag-asawa ay pneumonia. Kay Sally, mild. Ang kay David ay acute. Okay, so medyo malala na yung pneumonia. Okay? Ngayon, merong dalawang causes ng pneumonia. Ang isa ay bacterial at ang isa ay viral. Okay? Ayon sa kwento ni David, pagka bacterial, bibigyan sila ng mga antibiotics. Pag viral, ang katawan natin ang kusang maghihil sa sarili. Tandaan nyo po yun ha. Pag bacterial, pwede ang antibiotic. Pero pag viral, ang katawan natin ang lalaban dito. Okay?
some of them could speak good English. Those that couldn't, they had this little gadget around their neck, and the nurses just spoke into it in Japanese, and it came out instantly in English. It was brilliant. So we could communicate very, very well. The doctor the next day came and he said, look, I'm going to refer you to a different hospital that specialises in serious diseases. There's another word. Serious infections and diseases. So, and they specialise in it, okay? So I wasn't delighted with that news because I was very happy where we were. I'd gained a great deal of confidence in all of the staff, and to consider being moved, I wasn't looking forward to it, but we were. And it was about an hour's journey in the ambulance.
Not even that far, it was less
But
than
as we left, as we were leaving that first hospital, I'm in the wheelchair, and I turned to say to the two nurses that came down, the doctor and the nurses came to say goodbye to us, and I thanked the nurses for taking care of us. And I was a little bit emotional. And they've got the visors and the masks and all the rest of it, so they can't get to their eyes very easily. Well, you tell them, Sal, you tell
Well,
them.
they were stood next to me, behind him, and the pair of them had tears rolling down their faces. And I grieved, do they think we're going to die?
I think they probably thought I might.
Yeah.
I do, because
Yeah.
Sally thought it. She thought that I
That
was going to
first
be put into a coffin and brought home in a box. She really did. And again, not over-exaggerating this. This is how it really was. So we arrived at the next hospital. They had a wheelchair ready, wheeled us in, but they wheeled us into this very strange room.
Emergency room.
It was the emergency room. All grey walls, very cold in its ambience, if you
Two
like.
very, very thin gurney beds.
Yeah,
in there.
and we
had to
were
get on
laying
those.
down for
4 hours.
4 hours.
4
We were
hours.
laying down in ER for 4 hours, and every minute of those 4 hours were being worked on. So what I should have said, and I've forgotten, the doctor who'd been taking care of us, lovely man. Oh, he really was.
Very young.
And when he was outside the hospital saying goodbye to us, he took his cap off, you know, that like a shower hat, and his visor and his apron.
He got shoulder length hair.
And he'd got shoulder length, jet black hair. Really young guy. It surprised me. A really young guy, but heart of gold. And this is just a step too far. In my book, what he did was just amazing.
Okay, so yung ikinukwento kanina ni David, ayun na nga, hindi kasi kaya silang gamutin noong hospital na pinagdalan sa kanila. Okay, yung una. Ngayon, dahil sa kailangan nila ng immediate na gamutan, so inilipat sila ng isang hospital. At ang ang kagandahan po dito, yung Japanese doctor, hindi sila pinabayaan. Okay? Ang hospital niya doon sa kanilang pinagdalhan na una. Pero sinamahan pa rin sila papunta dun sa next hospital para sabihin kung ano na yung mga nagawa sa kanila, ano na yung resulta ng ginawa sa kanila, at kinausap yung magiging doktor at mga nurses ni David at ni Sally. O di ba? Ang ganda ng sistema ng medical process sa Japan. So, alam na ngayon nung next hospital, next doctor at nurses kung ano na yung history ng ginawa sa kanila, ano na yung kondisyon nila. Ayan, nung inilipat sila sa kabila.
When we got to the second hospital, he arrived there with us in his own car. He followed the ambulance. And when we went into ER, he gowned up, put all his stuff on, and he talked the doctor through everything that we'd gone through.
But they still did it all over again.
And yet they never took any of that first hospital's test results. They'd got the whole lot, everything. And they said, no, we want to do our own. So it was all of the blood tests.
Everything again, except for the CT.
X-rays. It was absolutely amazing.
Yun lang hindi ko maintindihan, 'di ba? Okay, ang ganda ng process. Ayan, yung doktor nila, yung unang doktor nila, sinamahan pa itong mag-asawa si David and Sally para sabihin do sa next doctor ano na yung nagawa, ano na yung nangyari. Okay, ano yung ginawa sa kanila. Pero itong next hospital, hindi. Gagawa pa rin kami ng aming test. Grabe. Eh di ngayon, kinuna na naman sila ng dugo at kung ano pang mga test ang ginawa sa kanila. Ewan ko, parang hindi pa naniwala, Hindi pa naniwala yung next doctor. Ayan, yun lang ang nakakatawa doon sa nangyari, Anyway, sayang sayang yung oras, 'di ba?
And ECG, EKG, the whole lot. And 4 hours later, we were put on this ward we're on now, but in a different room where we didn't have natural daylight. There was a window, but it looked onto another building very close, just a few meters away.
It was a passage.
So it was a very, very dark room. Even the nurses said, no sunlight. You need sunshine. And then, as we were getting better, no, I'm skipping too far ahead, I'm sorry. So the word respirator was used at this hospital in the ER room. We'll probably put you on a respirator. Now, I have worked with hospitals in the UK, and because of my job visiting patients who've been really ill, and I've seen lots of people that have been on respirators, and I'm not trying to scare anybody because this just scares me, and not many of them survived. So I thought, bugger that, I am not going on a respirator, even though I need oxygen in my lungs. I'm not going to go on a respirator. Now, my oxygen level was 93, and if it had dropped below 90, that's when they were going to stick me on a respirator. So I then thought to myself, even though I wasn't well, this is the night after Sally really thought I was going to pass away. I thought to myself, I have got to do something with my lungs.
Okay, sorry guys. Ewan ko kung narinig nyo kanina, wala yata akong audio kanina. Pero yung ikinukwento kanina ni David and ni Sally, okay, ang first symptom is ubo, and then medyo headache konti. Pero basta normal sila. Hindi nila ma-detect, okay? Kasi asymptomatic nga, ibig sabihin ng asymptomatic, wala, normal. Nasa iyo yung virus, pero normal. After 14 days, saka mo lang malalaman pagka lumabas na yung simptomas talaga ng virus na ikaw ay may lagnat, ganyan. So, cough, sore throat, hindi masyado. Wala. Normal lang sa kanila, sore throat. Ang kanilang is baka aircon. Okay? Then, makalipas ang ilang araw, yung pasakay nga sila ng cruise ship, ay hinahapo si David. Shortness of breath. Okay, umaakit lang siya ng cruise ship, ayun, hinahapo siya. Ayun, yun yung nalaman niya na parang iba na yung katawan niya. Okay? And then, ito nga pala, sa Diamond Princess po sila. So, nakadaong sila sa Okinawa yun, Okinawa, Japan. Ayun, and then, ayun nga po, dalawang klase yung bacteria, yung ating virus. Pneumonia, okay? So, ang natitect sa kanila is pneumonia. Kay Sally, mild. Kay David ay acute. Ngayon, dalawang klase po yung pneumonia, bacterial at saka viral. Pag bacterial, pwede pong gamutin ng antibiotic. Pero pag viral, ang katawan natin ang lalaban sa virus. So, 'di ba, dapat yung katawan natin malakas para labanan ang virus. Okay, so yun po yung mga sinabi kanina. Pasensya na kayo kung wala akong audio kanina. Hindi ko yata nalagyan. Sorry po. Ayan. So, tuloy po natin.
And I started doing lung exercises. Didn't even tell Sally. I just started
I said
doing
to you
them.
needed to do deep breathing. I didn't know what else you were going to do. I said you needed to try and get some oxygen into your lungs.
So many, many years ago, I used to practice a therapy called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Emotional Freedom, Google it, Emotional Freedom Technique, and put in the search Gary Craig, C-R-A-I-G, Gary Craig. He's got a wonderful 5-minute video that explains how it works. And one of the exercises I used to do with EFT was expand my lungs. So this is what I started to do. And within 48 hours, my oxygen level increased from 93 to 99. Okay? No respirator required. From that moment on, my general health started to improve at quite a rapid rate. Now, every day they keep an eye on us, 4 lots of tests a day. There's been more blood tests, x-ray and so on, but every day we get blood pressure, temperature, my blood sugar level, they listen to the oxygen level, and they listen all over the lungs, you know, with a stethoscope. And my stethoscope for days, I'm not exaggerating, it's probably the best part of a week, all clear. They can't hear anything. In the early days, they were hearing crackling. Now there's nothing, it's all clear. All of our test results are really good, really, I don't want to use the word positive, but really, really good results.
Okay. Meron siya sinabi, emotional freedom technique. Ayan, i-google daw po yun. Okay? Si Gary Craig ang author. Yung pong emotional freedom technique, yung po ang ginamit niya para natural na labanan ng katawan ang virus. Okay? So, yun po, emotional freedom technique. Mamaya po siguro, pagkatapos itong video, hanapin po natin, i-google natin kung ano yung emotional freedom technique.
I don't want to use positive because this is the nasal test that goes up the nose, down the throat, that checks for the virus, and you either have a positive or a negative result. And I'm getting positive results. I've had one negative, but at the moment I'm still on positive, and I need that to become a series of negatives before we're released out of the hospital. So that's the first thing to look out for: a cough, a fever, a throat. Now, we didn't have the throat, but we got 2 of the 3, and we definitely had the coronavirus because, God, I've still got part of it in me, just the remnants of it.
I think some people get a headache as well. We didn't get that.
Some have had a headache. Yeah, we were asked that question a lot. Have you got a headache? No, we've had no headache. So that's where we are at right now. We're being tested every single day, regularly.
Okay. So, yun daw po, 2 out of 3. Cough, fever, tsaka throat. So, ubo, lagnat, at yung sore throat. Okay? Pero sila, wala silang sore throat, wala daw headache. So, yung ubo lang at tsaka yung lagnat. Sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, sorry kung wala yung audio, pero up and down, taas baba ang kanilang temperature. Ang sabi ng doktor, 37.5, pag tumaas doon sa temperature na 37.5, tawagan ang mga doktor. Pero sa kaso ni David, nag 37.5 pataas, tapos bumaba ng 37.4, so hindi agad siya nakatawag ng doktor kasi baba taas sabi niya nagnormal naman 37.4, di ba? So yung palang baba taas ng temperature, isa rin palang symptom yon. Hindi agad sila tumawag ng doktor.
We're being given the food that meets our medical needs for our body.
Not necessarily what we like. But
It's not what we're used to in the Western culture, but I've got quite used now to much of the Japanese food. We don't have a knife and fork, we have chopsticks. And that's one of the bonuses of being here. I've got really, really good with chopsticks. So I'm looking forward back home going into a Chinese restaurant and eating with the chopsticks. Quite looking forward to that. So that was a bonus. So with hindsight, we were in denial without any doubt, or I was. Total denial. Do you know, I am breaking the bed that we are in. It's terrible. Bits keep falling. Just take all the stuff there, Sal, and just show them what's come off the bed. The bed isn't long enough for an English body.
you're moving your
I know.
around all
This bed is not long enough for an average Englishman. Can you see all
the
this?
bottom of the bed.
This is the bottom of the bed where my feet rest again. And you can't get it back in. It's broken, and something else just fell off then, you see. But anyway, there we are. So with hindsight, I was in denial. Cough, fever, and throat, although I didn't have a throat. If you get those symptoms, don't hesitate. Contact your medical provider and ask for their advice.
Yes.
Simple as that.
Don't turn up at your doctor's surgery because they will not welcome you.
Yeah. So in the UK, you dial, I think it's 911.
No, 111.
111. They've got a lot of drive-ins now where you drive in, you don't get out of the car, and they'll give you the test literally through the window. And if you test positive, you're told to go back at home. Well, you wouldn't get the result that quickly. You'd be told to go back home,
And
wait for the call. If you're positive, you self-quarantine for 14 days. Now, we have been in hospital almost 3 weeks, 1 day short of 3 weeks. So the question that I would be asking the world is 14 days quarantine sufficient? I'm still showing positive after 3 weeks in hospital.
And
We'd had it for probably 6 days before we came to hospital. Okay, so is 14 days sufficient? I think that really is about it, isn't it?
Well,
The odds are we're not contagious, by the way. I've just got remnants of the virus. So you'd probably be very safe to mix with people, but I'd never do that. I want to be totally clear 100% before I mix with anybody. Yeah.
I was reading this morning one of the Australians, having done 5 weeks in quarantine, she's still being told that when she goes home, she'll have to do a further 2 weeks.
Okay. So, ang sabi po kasi, pagka mataas ang temperature mo, ay mag-self-quarantine ka ng 14 days. Okay? Pero ayon kay David, after 3 weeks, okay, short of 1 day, 3 linggo na siya, nag-show pa rin siya ng symptoms. Okay? Sabi naman ni Sally, 5 weeks na yung kanyang kaibigan, ayun, nag-show pa rin ng symptoms. So, Ang pinakamaganda po talaga, ano, hanggang lumipas po siguro itong ating problema ngayon, hangga't maaari po, kung wala namang pong masyadong gagawin sa sa labas, ang importante po ganito, lalabas lang kayo kung bibili ng pagkain. Lalabas lang kayo kung medical emergency. Yun lang po. Huwag na kayong lumabas kung maggagala. Huwag na kayong lumabas kung may iba pang dahilan. Except pagkain at medical emergency. Yun po siguro pinakamaganda, no? So, bahay lang po muna tayo hanggang sa lumipas po itong problema.
Yeah. And I think that's sensible.
Mind you, she does work in the care profession,
Yeah.
so she will be mixing with vulnerable people, but that means that in the end, she would have done weeks quarantine from when she first went into hospital.
Yeah. So if we were back in the UK and this was happening to us, we would do things a little bit differently. At home, we have an inhaler for when we get a cold, and it's just a plastic jug, and the lid is it goes over your nose and mouth, and into that we pour boiling water, so we've got steam, and we put a couple of drops of, what's it called?
Obicil, I think it's called.
Well, I can't remember the name, but it doesn't matter. But we put a couple of drops. It's like camphor. You know, in the olden days, my grandmother used to have a big bowl of steaming water. She'd put camphor into the water, it floated, and a towel over your head, and you would just take it into your lungs. That is the principle that we have with this. So we're using this back in the UK to kill any viruses, anything that's going on in the lungs. I'd have still been doing lung exercises to expand the lung, to get as much oxygen in as we could, and we would definitely be dosing up on vitamins.
Okay. Yung sinasabi niya, ano, dahil pneumonia yung kaakibat o kasama nitong virus na to, di ba? Itong virus na to nagkokos ng pneumonia, and it is viral. Walang gamot, walang antibiotic na makakagaling dito. Except ang katawan natin ang lalaban sa virus na to. Kaya kailangan palakasin ang katawan, palakasin ang lungs. Yung sinasabi niya kanina, lung exercise. So breathe in, breathe out, parang nagyo-yoga. Ayun, parang yoga, relax. Okay? Alam niyo bang ang stress, ang panic, lalo kayong magkakasakit po niyan. 'Di ba? So, kailangan po, relax lang. And then, mag-yoga. Yun, breathe in, breathe out, lang exercise. At, tingnan natin mamaya kung mahahanap po natin yung emotional freedom technique na sinasabi niya kung saan in 48 days nagbago ang kanyang kondisyon. Okay? So, tingnan natin kung ano yung emotional freedom technique.
So,
we've got vitamins. We have got vitamins here.
Yeah.
That somebody got for us. I think it was Princess Cruises got us vitamin C.
They did.
3 or 4 packets of
But it's vitamin D that I think we really
D,
need.
we need the sunshine.
Yeah.
That's basically what
That
we need.
is what we need, because although it's a sunny day today, yesterday it was pouring with rain the entire day. It's sunny, but it doesn't come into the room.
Not till
Well, it does at about 4
About
o'clock,
4
and it just
o'clock.
hits the far wall.
just before the sun goes down.
But it doesn't
D, we need the.
warm the room or radiate the light into the room.
But we can see it,
We can see it.
which is a lot better.
And it's
than a brick
lovely,
wall.
you know, we've got a lovely tree out here, and blue sky today. And Friday, the orange blossom comes out in Japan. Sad that all the events have been cancelled.
Yeah.
So visitors will still be able to see the orange blossom, but
Not orange blossom.
cherry
Cherry
blossom.
blossom.
Oh, God, my mind. Cherry blossom. They'll be able to see the cherry blossom. Where did we have orange blossom? Florida. Yeah. They'll be able to see the cherry blossom, but the events in all the parks, every event has been cancelled. So there you go. That is our story on what we experienced. I'm not going to say that it's going to be the same experience for everybody all over the world. This is our experience, and how the hospital have dealt with it. I think the biggest issue is if you get pneumonia, it needs to be determined whether it is viral pneumonia or bacterial pneumonia as soon as possible. And it's only the hospital that's going to determine that. And if it's bacterial, you'll be on antibiotics. If it's viral, they wait and let it work its way out. Now, my latest x-rays have shown I am totally clear of the pneumonia. The virus isn't showing on the x-rays. It's remnants, they say, that are in the nostrils or in the back of the throat. So what I've done today, because I'm having another test this morning, so what I do, can you pass me the chopstick? What I do, you might think this is going over the top, but if I've got remnants in the nostril, chopsticks come in very good. So I blow my nose, and I never have anything when I blow my nose, nothing comes down ever, always have a dry nose. And I get a clean tissue, this one I've just used to do this exercise, and now I've got clean end to the chopstick. I dip that in warm water, and that goes up each nostril, change it for another piece of clean tissue to do the other nostril, and that's what I did for the test 48 hours ago, and the bloody thing came back positive, so I'm not convinced it works. But I'm doing everything I can. If we had salt in the room, I would be gargling with salt. But all I'm doing is gargling with water, which I can't see is going to help a great deal.
No, the other thing is, I mean, you could sniff the water up so it goes round and comes out through your mouth.
No, thank you.
But I try not.
Ayun. Sabi ni David, 'di ba? Gumamit siya ng chopstick kasi may mga remnants pa daw, may mga clear na. Okay, wala na siya sa lungs, nandito na sa throat tsaka sa nostrils. Okay, dito sa banda rito. So dito yung pinakahuli, okay, yung natitirang virus. Okay, nasa nostrils at tsaka nasa throat. So ang way daw niya is yung chopstick, nilagyan ng tissue, sinok sa tubig, tapos sinusundot yung kanyang ilong. Okay? Ngayon, hindi daw yun nag-work. Ngayon, ang advice niya, kung meron nga lang daw siyang asin, ay magagargle siya ng tubig na may asin. Okay? Kaso, wala silang asin, kaya tubig na lang. Pero sabi nga niya, pag tubig lang, baka hindi ganun ka-effective kumpara doon sa may asin.
Some stage, not this
We had salt.
time, and it's horrible. I don't like it, like drowning in a cup.
So look, the whole purpose of this video was to show you what our symptoms were, or to tell you what our symptoms were, how we've coped with it, and the experience that we've had whilst enjoying our friend, the coronavirus. People have been asking me, what strain is it? There are 2 strains, apparently. I don't know, and quite honestly, I don't really care, because I am not going to go up to people in the street walking towards me and saying, which strain have you got? Because I might be infected. So I am, what we now have to do is be more cautious than we've ever been in the whole of our lives. The elderly, of which we are in that bracket, are the most at risk. And
very young.
And the very young
People
are
with
also at risk.
people with asthma and
So,
other health.
If you've got
conditions.
underlying health conditions, we're in a higher risk bracket. So our, not fear, but our major concern is when we finally leave this hospital and we go out there in the big wide world, and the first big place that we're going to be going, most likely, is the airport. And we're going to be seeing people in masks. There may be some sneezing, some coughing, whatever. There'll certainly be no from us anywhere. That is totally out.
Done now.
There's going to be a lot of hot hand washing, whether we need to wash them or not. It's going to happen. We've now got that as a regular habit. But the danger for us is if we come into contact with somebody that was to sneeze straight into our face, it's unlikely, but we're not going to wear the masks that anything could come in at the sides. It's a tight-fitting mask that we've got for when we leave here.
Okay. So, kung gumaling na sila, lalabas ng hospital at ang unang pinaka-crowded, okay, pinakamataong lugar na mapupuntahan nila ay airport. Ayan. So, ang concern nila is dahil sa napakaraming tao, 'di ba? Maraming makakasalamuha doon. Baka daw merong mag-sneeze, okay, humatching sa harap nila. Ayun. Ngayon, pero sabi naman nila, magmamask daw sila, yung mask na hindi tatagos sa tabihan. Okay? Covered na covered lahat. Okay? Covered lahat. Walang tatagos na hangin papasok. Ayan. Kundi masasala yung hangin doon sa mask. Ayan. So, bilang proteksyon. At ang isang gusto kong sinabi niya is laging maghugas ng kamay. Ayan. Kasi bakit? Ang kamay natin, 'di ba, laging inihahawak sa mukha. Guys, wag po kayong hahawak ng mukha. As much as possible, wag niyong hahawakan ang mukha niyo. Okay, especially ang nose at ang mouth. Okay, ang ilong at ang bibig, huwag niyong hahawakan. Always maghugas. Kung may alcohol, mag-alcohol. Mas maganda, lagi kayong magdala ng alcohol. Ayan, kung nasa bahay kayo, kahit nasa bahay, okay, kahit nasa bahay, importante po yung pagiging malinis.
But if somebody did manage to cough or sneeze straight into our face, that's the big danger. We won't be reinfected with this same virus that we've got, but we will be open to receive anything else.
Be open to
colds, flu.
More to more colds and flu.
Yeah.
But we did both have at home, not just before Christmas, we both had a flu.
Yeah, good point.
A flu shot, and we both have had in the last 2 years we've had a pneumonia shot, and I firmly believe that that has made a difference to how we've coped with it.
Yeah.
Yes, David was very poorly, but it did only last a couple of days.
Yeah.
And
and as everybody will say to you that's had the coronavirus, you generally feel really good.
yeah,
You know, you don't realise that you've got it. And the only time now, looking back, reflecting on all of this, it's when we left the ship to come to the first hospital. That was when I was at my worst.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise it until I experienced that
you left the cabin
breathlessness.
and you actually had
And God, that was frightening.
Well,
That was frightening.
We had 3 people escorting us down to the ambulance, and he had to keep stopping and saying, "I can't walk this fast. I can't keep up this pace."
I have to
And he
keep
was
saying, slow
really
down, I can't keep up.
gasping for breath.
It was, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. That's when I realised something's wrong. And yeah, so there you go. I hope you found it helpful. If you feel you've contracted this disease, contact your medical provider. By phone, contact them, explain your symptoms, how you're feeling, and then take all the precautions you can. Regular hand washing. Don't shake people's hands. The antibacterial gel is good, but it's not as good as the hand washing.
Soap and water is the best thing you can
it's
do.
the best thing of the lot.
I know you can't
Best
take
thing of the lot.
soap and water out with you when you go out, so hand sanitizer is an extra. But soap and water is much, much better than hand soap.
And exercise your lungs. If pneumonia should happen to get in and it's viral, exercise those lungs, expand them, get as much oxygen in as you can. That was my mega turning point.
Ayun. So, talaga, soap and water. Ayan. Antibacterial, hand sanitizer, hindi po gaanong ka-effective. Pinakamaganda talaga, sabi ni Sally, ay soap and water. Okay? Yun ang pinaka-effective. At exercise your lungs. Okay? Ang virus po ay hindi kaya ng antibiotic. Katawan lang natin ang lalaban sa virus na to. Palakasin ang katawan, palakasin ang lungs, At yun po ang way para makasurvive, para gumaling sa COVID-19.
Absolutely. And it's Gary Craig, Emotional Freedom Technique. Emotional Freedom Technique, Gary Craig, and you'll learn all about it, and it's totally free. And it's something you can teach yourself. It's brilliant.
I think the other thing is, if you happen to live in a country where it's warmer, get yourself out in the sunshine.
Yeah, the virus can't exist in heat.
Sit in your backyard and sit in the sun. Find yourself a spot out of the wind and just enjoy the sunshine, because that will help you. It does help get rid of the virus, and it makes for your own well-being as well.
So don't be scared. You know, a lot of people of our age, and maybe younger, maybe slightly older, what we are hearing is that you're scared, you're terrified. Don't let this beat you, all right? We can beat this, providing we deal with it in a timely manner and we really take all those precautions afterwards. Don't be scared. Life must go on. Life is for living. It's not for dying. You know, we live every day. We die once. We don't want to die that once too soon, do we? Prematurely. So life is for living. Don't let it take control of you. You take control of this virus. You take control of your body. And Gary Craig, Emotional Freedom Technique, will help you to do exactly that. Okay, we've said enough. That's it. Get on now with your lives. Really enjoy it. Have a great day wherever you are in this world. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Ayun. At tingnan nga natin, hanapin po natin. Ang ganda na sinabi ni David at saka ni Sally, di ba? So, live your life. Ayan, life must go on. Ayan, ayaw natin ng we die once, pero wag muna. 'Di ba? Wag muna. Ayan, so hanapin nga natin, tingnan natin yung sinasabing pangalan nito, Emotional Freedom Technique. Ayan, i-google nga natin. Teka lang po, hanapin ko lang yung paano ko ba i-share sa inyo to? Teka lang po. Emotional Freedom Technique. Ito. Okay, so tingnan natin. Lipat po kayo. Okay, so ito po yung nakuha ko. Emotional Freedom Technique. Ano po? Tapping procedure. Bali para pong acupressure. Ayan, parang acupressure. So, may mga pressure points po. Ayan, may mga pressure points. Okay. Ayun. So, may mga pressure points po. Ayan, top of the head, third eye, eyebrow, corner of the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, under the collarbone. Ayun. So, may pressure points po. Okay? I-apply natin yung pressure. Ayan. So, ito. Tapos to, under the collarbone. Ayan. Galing. Emotional Freedom Technique. Okay, and ayun, nakalagay dito, start and finish by placing hands on the center of the chest and taking 3 deep breaths in and out. Ayos. Ayan, pero ano po, mas maganda guys, i-search po ninyo. Okay, kayo mag-search, kayo mag-research, ano ba itong Emotional Freedom Technique. Okay, so bird's eye view, ito po yun. Okay, so pressure points, and then breathing exercise. Ayan, yun po mahalaga, yung breathing exercise. Okay, so yun po. Now, punta po tayo sa... Okay, balik tayo. Napatigil ako. Bakit ako tumigil? Teka lang po. Yan. Okay. So guys, ayun. Kung sana nagustuhan po ninyo yung ating live stream ngayon, and I hope maraming manood. I hope. Okay, please share this this live stream. Okay? At importante po ito. Importante. Ang virus ay ang katawan po ang lalaban. Okay? Ang katawan natin lalaban. Hindi po ito kaya ng antibiotic. Ayan. So, yun lang guys. So, maraming salamat po sa mga nanood. And sa mga manonood, ayan, sana nawa po ay tulungan tayo na malampasan itong ating problema ngayon. Okay? Ayun po, yun lang. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. At sa susunod, ayan, magla-live po ulit tayo kung anong po yung mga updates. Okay? Salamat po. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.